Yes, my dear friend, good morning to you wherever you are, or good afternoon or good evening, depends on where you are. In the diaspora, this is your channel, GH247. GH247. Like the video, share the video, and let me hear from you in the comments section. Well, we are back to Ghana. And it's been 4 days the president has been sworn into office. President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, and his vice have been sworn into office last 4 days. And a lot has taken place within the period, dear friend. Now, during the inauguration, he invited over 31 heads of state. But one notable one was a military man. 36 years old military man was invited. The man that could not travel to anywhere in the world. The man that, as we speak, the US, they want him badly. The UK, France, they want to arrest him. He came to Ghana and he was hosted in Ghana by our newly elected president. He came for the inauguration. I'm talking about no other person than President Traore. Dear friend, I want you to watch this video, but before that, you see, you can tell even John Mahama seems to love IBRAHIM Traore very much. The president of Ghana seems to love IBRAHIM Traore very much, and the mutual respect between the two leaders is apparent in this meeting. Just watch this video.
Thank you. Well, I think I want to express my appreciation to my younger brother.
Je voudrais traduire mon admiration à mon jeune frère pour sa participation à mon investiture. J'ai été honoré de voir qu'il a laissé ses occupations pour se joindre à nous. Le peuple burkinabé et le peuple ghanéen sont un seul peuple. Nous avons des liens historiques et commerciaux. Nous avons des communautés le long de notre frontière commune. C'est la colonisation qui nous a divisés, sinon nous serions un seul peuple. Je suis content que mon frère ait pu faire le déplacement pour nous soutenir. J'effectuerai prochainement une visite au Burkina Faso pour lui traduire mes remerciements. Je pense que nous sommes au début d'une nouvelle relation de coopération entre nos pays. Nous connaissons les défis que vit le Burkina Faso avec les attaques terroristes. Nous devons être solidaires avec les Burkinabés et travailler ensemble pour le retour de la paix au Burkina Faso. Parce que sans la paix, il ne peut pas avoir le développement. Je voudrais vraiment le remercier pour sa participation à mon investiture que j'ai vraiment appréciée. Comme je l'ai souligné, nous sommes un même peuple. Donc nous devons travailler ensemble. Et comme je l'ai dit, nous sommes seulement séparés par des frontières coloniales. Nous devons tout faire pour promouvoir le plus possible l'intégration. Nous avons échangé sur quelques sujets, notamment comment améliorer le commerce entre le Burkina Faso et le Ghana. Il y a quelques plaintes de certains commerçants dont nous devons travailler ensemble pour voir comment nous pouvons résoudre ces difficultés. Nous allons continuer à travailler ensemble comme un seul peuple.
And see how we can address those issues so that we can continue to work together as one people. And you can also see how popular Mr. President is in Ghana. When he was introduced at the Black Star Square, he got the biggest applause.
Yes, as you saw it right there in that video, dear friends, it is not surprising. I'm not surprised because the kind of rousing welcome that President Trump even received from the crowd when he was introduced, like Mahama rightfully said, His Excellency John Mahama rightfully said, he received the loudest, rousing welcome than every other head of state that came for the inauguration. And you see, the truth of the matter is that Ghana, Burkina Faso have a long history. Burkina Faso is sharing border with Ghana. And we have a long history with Burkina Faso, dear friends. Burkina Faso, Ghana cooperation dates back for many years because we are sharing border with each other. And it's no surprise, the newly sworn in, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, granted an audience on Tuesday after the inauguration. He granted an audience to President Traore. Yes, in the afternoon. You see, the head of state, Captain IBRAHIM Traore, was excited even about the audience that President John Mahama granted to him. During the audience, the two heads of state expressed their willingness to work together to strengthen the bilateral cooperation between the two countries. And they had a heart chat for the pathway to develop their two countries in their respective, territories. They spoke at length even on security issues. I want to tell you something. I personally love what Mahama did. Our president, His Excellency, I love what he did. You see, this meeting between the two is a strong signal to the world. It is a strong signal to the world. And I believe that President Mahama's decision to even grant audience to President Traore is to express his admiration for the captain. That is just it. There is something about this man, the 36 years old IBRAHIM Traore, leading Burkina Faso to this moment against what the world or the so-called big nations across the world, what they want Africa to be. In their mind, Africans are to follow what they say. They want Africa to be taking instructions from them. It is high time the entire continent of Africa begin to realize that the neo-colonialism that we talk about, it is high time Africa becomes truly independent of what every other nation says. It is. Listen to what he said. He said, I was honored to see that he left his occupation to join us. I was honored. President Mahama says he was honored that IBRAHIM Traore left his occupation to join us. I'm happy that my brother was able to make the trip to support us. President Mahama referring to him as his brother. The Ghanaian president expressed his solidarity with the head of state, Captain IBRAHIM Traore, on the terrorism attacks and promised to work with him for the return of peace to Burkina Faso. Because without peace, there can be no development. Without peace, there can be no development. Now, what does the world or the West want Africans to believe? The West want Africans to believe that unless we go their way, we can never survive. Unless it is what they say, unless we do what they want us to do and believe what they want us to believe. For instance, the world or the West, they want us to accept what they term as, what do you call it? LGBTQ+. Yet, they don't want to accept Africans' culture of polygamous marriage. They don't want to accept that. In Africa, in our culture, polygamous marriage is accepted, it's allowed, even in our laws. The West don't want to accept that, but they want Africa to accept LGBTQ+. A man marrying a man, woman marrying a woman. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? A man wants to marry 2 wives, 3 wives. The West are saying no to that. But they are admitting, they call it, they want us to accept the fact that a man could marry a man. And they want us to accept that. But they don't want to agree when an African comes and says, I have 2 wives. Come on. They claim it's a human right. A human right for a man to marry a man. But it's not a human right for a man to marry 2 wives. Do you see now look at it. You see, as they believe that they are superpowers. So they think whatever they impose on Africa, we should just accept it. And this is why Ibrahim Traore, President Ibrahim Traore, someone like him, some of us, that is why he received the loudest support from the crowd when he was introduced in Ghana. Yes, because it is high time Africans stand up for what is right. It is high time Africans speak out for ourselves. It is high time we accept the fact that, look, what the West call democracy doesn't work in Africa. The Western style of democracy can never work in Africa. That is what we try to emulate, and that is why we are still lacking behind. That is why our democracy, that is Africa's democracy should be, replan. We have to sit back and see how our own democracy can work for us. In the days of old, when I was growing up, we already have democracy. Our chieftaincy institutions are a typical example. You dare not misbehave in your community because the chiefs in your community will hold you accountable. There has been orderliness even in those days. Our chieftaincy institutions were strong. There were full respect to our chiefs, our kings, our queen mothers. Now the West now came to impose what they call the democracy, where people just can do anything they want to do and they call it human rights. I agree. There should be something called human rights. Yes. But not to impose your own right, what you think is best for you. We have our culture. Africans have their culture. Africans, we know what is good for us, my friends. We know what is good for us. Beyond the historical and commercial ties that bind Burkina Faso and Ghana together, the new president of Ghana declared, I think we are at the beginning of a new relationship of cooperation between our two countries. I'm happy President MAHAMA has accepted the fact that we can't always go by the West. We can't not always go by what the Western say, the Western authority, whatever they push us to do. Dear friends, he said, I'm about to conclude, he said, this includes, among others, the cooperation agreement on implementation of railway interconnection, memorandum of understanding in the areas of security, sports and recreation, and education. This is what we want Africa to be doing. Cooperation in all these areas to develop our own state, not to depend on France, not to depend on the US, not to depend on wherever. Dear friends, I'm about to run out. You see, my excitement is that my president is in office. And in the days to come, a lot of this will be coming up. Before I go, on your screen right now, billionaire Ned Nwako of Nigeria, and his wife, Regina Daniels, meet and greeted the newly inaugurated Ghana's President MAHAMA. Listen, even Nigerians know what time it is. Even Nigerians know what time it is in Ghana, dear friend. Yes, even Nigerians know what time it is now on the African continent. I'm telling you the truth. Watch out, because Ghana, we are now into the resetting. We are resetting Ghana. As you can see the pictures on your screen, that is President MAHAMA with the billionaire and his beautiful wife, Regina Daniels, in Ghana. All right. I'll soon be letting you go. But you see, I want to conclude here. And it's a message I want to send to the opposition New Patriotic Party. We are not going to be taking moral lessons from you. This new government, NDC government, we will not take moral lessons from you. You have no right even to lecture us on how to govern. You have no right. The mess you created You have no right to stand in front of us and talk to us that you are giving us moral lesson on how to govern. Instead, sit back and watch the new government in place, National Democratic Congress Party, led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the beautiful Vice President, Her Excellency Nana Jane, rule and take Ghana to the next level. We are now resetting Ghana. Watch out, because more is coming on this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your friend, Salon Eric Kweku Tosu, all the way from our studios in channel or GH247. I'll see you all in the next one when you see me. Shalom.